please don't eat this. I know y'all a little off sometimes, but I don't want you coming back to me saying, well, you know, that's what they said. You know, X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah. No, no, no. Hello, welcome plant friends and family. Welcome to Fruits of My Desires. I am Desiree, and there is a glare on my glasses, so I'm going to go ahead and take those off. All right, set them over to the side. Today, I want to introduce you to a new series. This series is going to be based on culinary and medicinal herbs. As you all know, I have officially transitioned, I guess, Fruits of My Desires LLC into a herb-based business only. I'm in the process of converting my 1 acre backyard into a small-scale herb farm. And that way I'll be able to produce culinary and medicinal herbs during the spring and summer months. And I'm going to be, you know, having a greenhouse constructed so I can do them in the fall and winter months as well. So to kick off the new direction of the business, let me go ahead and scoot on back a little bit. I've decided to make videos about various different herb plants, and mainly the herb plants that we are growing here on our farm. All of our herbs are grown with organic soil created by me, and they are not chemically treated with any pesticides or any harmful chemicals. And all of the fertilization, which isn't often for these types of plants, is also done with organic based fertilizers or things that I've created on my own that would be organic. So things like coffee grounds and, you know, grounded up eggshells and what have you not. So everything is natural and organic, and we will be releasing these for sale soon. Just waiting for them to get a little bigger. And yeah, so today's plant, again, we are going to talk about the peppermint plant. So I am sitting next to one that I am currently growing. I want to talk about growing them first. But before I do that, let me give you a little background information on this plant. So the peppermint plant is a hybrid plant. It is a cross between what is called watermint and spearmint. And the scientific name for it would be Mentha peperita. Okay, there are several different varieties as well as hybrids of mints. Some of the ones that you are familiar with would be things like thyme, oregano, basil, rosemary, lemon balm, and sage, just to give you a few. They're really, really easy to grow. It's not really suggested that you grow these from seed. This is the reason why when I grow them, I purchased a mother plant probably like about 2 years ago. And when I'm ready to create new plants, I just snip off a piece of the mother plant, establish it in some water. And once I get a root system, a good root system, probably about 2 inches of root systems, then I'll go ahead and plant it in soil and allow it to become its own plant. So yeah, it's an excellent and easy plant for beginners to grow. It doesn't require, like I said, well, I haven't said it yet, but it's coming up. It doesn't require like a lot of fertilization. So that's one of the things I'm excited about with the farm, is that growing herbs, you know, it's great with insect repellents, not too many like critters like deers and, you know, raccoons and chipmunks and squirrels like them. So you could go ahead and grow them kind of like free of pests and free of disease. So the only thing is that it loves a moist and like shady area. So don't put this in too much sun, you'll kill it. And don't drown it, you'll kill it as well. But what I like to do is I have a spray bottle, and every week, maybe every 3 days, I'll go by and spray the top layer of soil just to keep it moist so your plant won't dry out and die. Now I'll move on to some of the great uses for this plant. So the first thing that I would say, you know, since we're talking about growing it, is if you intend on growing it or using it in your garden, this plant serves as an excellent, again, insect repellent for things like tomato plants, green pepper plants, cucumber plants, as well as like your brassicas like collards, cabbages, Brussels sprouts. So what it does is, when it comes to the brassicas, there is a green caterpillar that turns into this white butterfly. Everybody has seen this white butterfly. They think it's the most beautiful thing ever. That thing is a terror when it comes to growing collard greens and, you know, all the things I named, the cabbage, the Brussels sprouts, all that great stuff. It will demolish your plant literally in 24 hours, okay? So to keep that away from your plant, keep the green caterpillar that then eventually becomes the white butterfly away from your plant, go ahead and plant you some mints, okay? You could do the sages, you could do the oreganos as well, but it will help to repel those. It also repels spider mites and aphids, and as well as tomato hornworms. Tomato hornworms are kind of self-explanatory. It's the hornworm that hooks onto your tomato plant and decimates it. Aphids are like this, are like a white substance that, you know, they're white bugs basically that, you know, will also decimate and kill your plant. And spider mites are, you know, small spiders that are attracted to, like, you know, green plants and whatnot. So it'll go ahead and kill that as well. Now, if you get an infection of spider mites in your plant, it can actually decimate your mint plants. I've had some mint plants, like some lemon balm and what have you not, that one spider mite that I don't kill, it will literally get into your root system and completely kill your plant. But if you got a healthy, vibrant plant and great soil, it'll go ahead and repel it. Moving on from uses in the garden, I'm going to talk about culinary uses, okay? So there's not too much you could do with mint culinary wise. I mean, you can create a pesto. So if you take mint, some cilantro, and like some basil, and like mix it up and what have you not with some olive oil or what have you not, then you'll have a pesto. You can top it, you know, with some soups. It's a lot of Oriental dishes or Asian dishes that you can make that involve topping peppermint with it. Vanilla ice cream, if you put some peppermint on top of that, it's actually pretty decent. It's like, you know, eating a peppermint ice cream. I know a lot of people aren't down with that, but I love it. And let's see, what else can you do? You can infuse. So I know a lot of people like to add like strawberries and like lemons and oranges to their water, and they either let them sit for 20 minutes, an hour, or sometimes overnight. Go ahead, cut you a sprig of some peppermint. You can go ahead and throw it in there and let it infuse, and that's one way you can use it culinary. I mean, that's one way you can use it for culinary uses, as well as get the medicinal benefits of the plant. And the last way I know that you can use this for culinary is to create herbal teas. So just to let you know, when you use things like herbs, it's not technically a tea, it's an infusion, okay? So in order for you to get any of the medicinal properties, you have to actually let this steep. So I got some in here. This is my little infuser basket right here. I don't want to take it out because it'll drip. But I got some peppermint leaves in here, and I've been consuming this even before I started recording this video. Let me go ahead and take a sip, because I am trying to get over my allergies. Like, this season has been really, really, really treacherous on my allergies. The pollen is sticking to the cars now, that yellowish green film you see on your car, yeah. And it's just sitting in the back of my throat for the most part. So I have this dry cough, okay? And moving into the medicinal benefits of this tea, It's an antiviral. So for things like colds and flu and dry coughs and, runny noses and itchy eyes and all that great stuff, infusing this in some hot water for about 5 minutes, or even if you want to do the water infusion, the cold water infusion, you could do it that way. And by drinking it and it getting into your system, you could go ahead and help with, the dry throat, the scratchy throat, the itchy eyes, and all that great stuff. Another thing that this time of the year does to me is when the pollen sits on my skin too long, I get what's called contact dermatitis, and I start to get rashes. So by drinking this, as you know, in a fused tea or, a water infusion, that also helps with the rashes and things of that nature. As far as other medicinal ways that you can, get from your infusion and what have you not, it helps with anxiety and depression. It also helps with mental cramps as well as menopause. So we know how, women with menopause can get a little sweaty and they can get a little moody, just like those of us who are still menstruating can get a little moody when that time of the month comes. I typically teeter towards mint teas as soon as I know that I'm ovulating, okay? And it really does help with, the bloating associated and the cramps and all that great stuff. It really helps with the mood, because sometimes during our premenstrual time, we can have a little anxiety, we could be a little depressed, okay? It also helps with that. So medicinally, it helps with colds and flu, helps, to expel the mucus in your chest and all that great stuff. It also helps, calm your cramps or the bloating associated with, starting your period, or heck, even lactose intolerance. You can go ahead, drink you some herbal infused peppermint tea, and you'll be good to go. And the next, I would like to say medicinally, you can use it as a topical. So as you see, I have locks. And the one thing I've noticed about having locks is because, the hair's dry, you're supposed to keep it moisturized. But, during time periods where the weather changes, where it's really, really cold, or kind of like in the middle of like that spring summer switch, I noticed that my scalp gets a little dry. So what I like to do with this is apply a topical solution. There's a few ways you could do topicals, okay? I like to do them with carrier oils, which will either be like a grapeseed or a olive oil, or sometimes a castor oil, depending on what the temperature. I don't do castor oils in the summer, so it's winter time. And I'll do kind of like a balanced mix and use it to like apply it to the skin for contact dermatitis, or I'll put it on my scalp and just kind of like, I'll wet the scalp first, kind of like a mist with some water, and then like put it on my scalp and let it sit. That helps to, relieve the dandruff, okay? I also kind of like to use it as an insect repellent as well. So, same methods. I may even take essential oils and add it to like, my daily lotion that I use, or I'll mix up my own oil base. And in the oil base, I'll put peppermints in it, and like a lemon or a citronella or a lemongrass, which are all things that repel mosquitoes and flies and what have you not. And that becomes my, insect repellent over the summertime. And the only time I'll get ate up is if I do not put it on. But as long as I have it on and it's been able to sit on the skin for a few minutes before I go outside, I will not be no touching by bugs whatsoever. So topical reasons, again, contact dermatitis, as well as dandruff. So any type of like skin irritation, bug bites too. So let's just say one does get you, you can like take your little like, grapeseed and peppermint mixture and go ahead and put that on your skin, and then it'll go ahead and soothe that bug bite so it won't itch as much. I will never suggest putting essential oils directly on your skin. Always use a carrier oil. And lastly, I'll go ahead and talk about essential oils then. Essential oils, please don't eat this. I know y'all a little off sometimes, but I don't want you coming back to me saying, well, you know, Desiree said, you know, X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. No, no, no. This is an essential oil, which means they have every plant extracts the oil, right? Well, in order to, which is one of the most potent ways to get the medicinal properties out of your plant. But not all of them are edible, and peppermint is one of those. Please don't eat this stuff. I know how y'all get, you know, they told us that, you know, bleach and what have you not helped out with, you know, the vid, and y'all sure enough went out here and decided y'all was going to try to drink bleach. So please, don't eat this, all right? The only thing I would suggest that you do with essential oils is, number one, use it as a diffuser. With diffusers, especially if you are suffering from sinus and allergies and colds and flus and all that great stuff, if you get your little small diffuser, put you about 7-10 drops on it, sleep next to it, it'll literally help keep your nose clear at night, okay? If you suffer from spiders, like I know in the spring after all that rain and what have you not, I started to see a lot more spider webs around my house. So what I did was I turned on a little simmer on the stove. I dropped some drops inside of a little pan and let it permeate throughout the house. And I noticed that, you know, once I cleaned up all the webs, I didn't have any additional spiders coming in, okay? The other thing, like I said, it helps with stress, anxiety, depression. So you can permeate your house. The diffuser, like I told you, I'm pointing to the diffuser because I have one on my dresser. I should have brought it over. But, or like if you want to carry this in your purse periodically throughout the day, take it out, especially working. I know a lot of y'all stressed, you know, some of y'all have to return back to the office and what have you not. You're sitting in rush hour traffic again after being at home for 2 years. Carry some of this, sniff it, calm your anxiety down, calm your nerves down. Please do not be like some of these people we seeing in the news with their foolishness, okay? And that's pretty much about it as far as the essential oils go. I add this to, like, my hair products. You know, I love how refreshing mint is on my scalp, okay? So this is involved in every process of my hair care journey, from, you know, the pre-poo, which is, you know, me misting my hair and putting the grapeseed or olive oil with this mixed in it on my scalp, right? And then when I wash my hair, the clarifying shampoo that I have contains mint, okay? Even the conditioner, it contains mint. And then I use like a moisturizer, which doesn't have mint in it at all. But the lock oil I use to, you know, keep my scalp together and, you know, all that great stuff. Even like the little mist I use for the moisturizer that I've created, they all contain essential oils of mint, okay? So yeah, like, you can get these from just about anywhere. I got this from Fresh Time. Fresh Time actually has them really, really cheap. I think I only paid about $6.99 for this. So that's pretty much about it with mint. I'm going to go ahead and take another sip. I would keep this a little longer, but my throat is really, really dry, y'all. Excuse me. Before I close this out, go ahead and pour some more. I do want to say that you all, before you get into an herbal journey, please consult with your physician, okay? A lot of us are on medications that our physicians have prescribed for us for our ailments, and we're on those meds because we're at the point where things like herbs aren't going to sustain us, okay? So please follow the doctor's order. See if experimenting with herbs is something that you can do to help wean yourself from your meds. Do not make that choice or that decision on your own. And please do not take it as if I'm telling you that this is something that you should do. You would always want to consult your physician and your doctor first. So what I'm going to do is, since, you know, one of these leaves fell off, I'm going to go ahead and pinch it all off on the side. And I'm going to go ahead and continue my tea to help, you know, with my dry throat journey. I'm going to go ahead and chew on this leaf, because that's also something you can do. And this is really, really good for fresh breath. So fellas, ladies, there's no reason why you need to be out here with nasty breath. Get you a mint plant, go ahead, chew you on a leaf, gives you fresh breath. Your significant other will love you for it. Y'all be easy. Peace.